I'm going to show you guys that the Negro was the one who was ruling over so many parts of Asia, whether it's India, China, Europe, Arabia. The Negro race was ruling over this part. It is today where our history has been usurped by different people, okay? The Chinese claim to be the original Chinese, Japanese claim to be the original people, Caucasians claim to be the original Europeans, the Arabs claim to be the original, people of that land. No, you're gonna see from history that all these places is a Negro that was there, okay? When it comes to the origin of nations, guys, you will always find the Negro there, because the Negro, they were the ones that established many of these nations, okay? These guys have claimed those lands now from us. They all altered history to hide the presence of the Negro. But there's a clue right here, guys. Look at this book right here. It's called Anacalypsis, an attempt to draw aside the veil of the Celtic Isis. Okay, it's a very old book. This is volume 1 of the book. It was published in the year, let me go down so you guys can see it. Published in the year 1836, guys. Very old book, okay? It wasn't written yesterday, okay? Keep that in mind. These are old books. Alright, so here we are on page 286. Let's see what it says. There's a powerful history here that everyone needs to see, because history that we know today is fake. Okay, they are suppressing Negro history, and we've seen evidence of this. I've shown you guys many history of people that you think were white people that were actually black people. That's because Negro history is being actively suppressed. It's not an accident. They are spending trillions and trillions of dollars to hide true Negro history, but I'll reveal some of it right here in this video. So look at what this says, okay? In this book from 1836, I believe. Look at what it says. Colonel Wilfred says that it cannot reasonably be doubted that a race of Negroes had formerly preeminence in India. What does preeminence means? Dominion, guys, okay? Being like the superior people in India, yeah. So it cannot be doubted that a race of Negroes had formerly preeminence in India. These were the inhabitants of India in the time of the curly-headed Buddha. Okay, I already made a video about the Buddha, proving to you that that guy was based off a Negro. It was a Negro person. The actual person who was the Buddha, who was alive, and his people were a Negro people. It's very important you understand that, okay? Today, the Indian people and Chinese people are taking that Buddha as part of their history, when it's actually part of the Negro's history, guys. But let's keep going. Look at this. So these were the inhabitants of India in the time of the curly-headed Buddha, who was succeeded after 2,160 years by the long-haired Krishna. One, an incarnation of the solar god in Taurus, the other in Aries. Okay, that's going into astrology, I believe. Okay, so look at what it says next, guys. Thus, I account for the Negro Buddha and for the handsome, though black Krishna. In aid of this theory, a reconsideration of the foregoing pages will show that we have found the black complexion or something relating to it whenever we have approached the origin of the nation. So when you go to all these nations, whether it's Europe, Asia, Arabia, and you really investigate the origin of these nations, you will find that the true people who founded these nations were Negroes, guys, okay? It wasn't these modern day guys. These modern day guys, they've just taken the history that Negroes established for themselves. That's all they've done. But let's keep going. So you will find that the black complexion or something relating to it whenever we have approached the origin of the nations, the alma mater, the goddess Multimania, the founders of the oracles, the Memons, or the first idols were always black people. Always black, okay? Venus, Juno, Jupiter, Apollo, Bacchus, Hercules, Astaroth, Adonis, Horus, Apis, Osiris, Ammon. In short, all the wood and stone deities were black people, guys, okay? Yeah, because during a time the Negroes had dominion and we did a lot of this nasty stuff, because this stuff here is idolatry. Let's keep that real, okay? I'm not praising any of these things here. These are all idolatrous, but you need to understand the Negroes were ruling over these regions when we did this stuff, when we established all these wood and stone deities, okay? Let's keep going. Look at what it says next. The images remained as they were first made in very remote times. They were not susceptible of any improvements, and when for any reason they require renewal, they were generally made exactly after the former secret pattern. I once saw a man repainting a black god on a house side in Italy. Why is there a black god in a house side in Italy? Because if you look through history, you see many of these Italians, okay, during the 1800s, 1600s, 1700s, 1500s were black people, guys. Okay? A lot of people have difficulty accepting it. Yeah, they were black people. Okay, but we'll go into that history in another video. The point is, whenever we have approached the origin of the nations, we have always found the black complexion of the Negro there, guys. Okay, because the Negroes were the ones that established so many of this stuff. Today, what you have is Caucasians pretending to be the original founders of these nations, when in fact it was Negroes that did them. Yeah, a lot of these places in Europe, but many of them were founded by the Negroes, guys. And those that were not founded by Negroes, the Negroes ruled over them for a time. Places like Italy. Italy wasn't a Negro nation originally, but Negroes did gain, dominion over that area at a point, guys. Okay, same thing in Asia, same thing in Arabia. Okay, this is the history that many of you are not aware of. Okay, the Negro race had preeminence, kicking ass in all these regions, guys. Yeah,